Like, what is going on? Probably cussing at us.
All right, today we are getting the 101 treatment with Fusion Pest. He's going to show us how he gets things done.
There we go.
Let's get to work.
First thing you do is start your day off is filling your water up. I like using these little jugs because they're only about 5 gallons, so you can get a couple uses out of a day for them, but then your truck's not filled up with one big giant tank, if that makes sense.
Beautiful. And so what's the water primarily for? Is that for getting your pet?
Just mixing your product. And I've switched to all backpack sprayers for a couple of reasons. It allows me to shift up the product based on the needs of the customer as opposed to just being a generic, try to do a one-size-fits-all approach for all the pest control. So if I need to increase the rate for a certain type of pest or use a different product or mix a different product with it, it's a lot easier to do that in a 4-gallon tank versus a 25-gallon tank. And this makes it a lot easier, especially in winter services. If it's really cold out, so you can put hot water in these and you don't have to worry about it freezing, whereas the tank, I've had that happen when I first started. Sometimes it freezes in the wintertime when you're going out and about. And I guess we can just mix some product now while we're here.
So this is where Breaking Bad,
yeah,
comes together. The perfect balance of chemicals to kill the most bugs.
Exactly. I like to wear gloves. First I didn't think too much of it, but then I realized, hey, you're dealing with chemicals all day. And then you go to eat something, you're not really washing your hands the best, so I figured best to be safe than sorry. Anyway, so I got about a half a gallon. It's a 4-gallon tank, so during the summer months I tend to concentrate to more of the max levels as opposed to a lower level. Reason for that is obviously you get max strength for the bug, especially things like wasps and spiders. And you just mix it what you need. There's a little bit of product left in there, but it's not enough to really count for much. I learned to always put this on the filter. Had one house one time, it was in a winter service, and I started filling up the faucet and a whole bunch of wasps came dumping out. They had built their nest in the faucet and I had that off, and so I had a bunch of wasps actually in my tank, so and just mix it on up. Vans can be a little more contained and organized, but as tall as I am, I really don't like riding in vans, driving in vans. So I use a full-size pickup, even though it'd be cheaper to not use a full-size pickup, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And so I have everything strapped in so it doesn't roll around too much. Keep everything covered, both discourage people from taking stuff, as well as it helps shield the product from the UV radiation, which actually breaks it down. The sunlight breaks it down, so.
Okay.
Oh, here's our first spot. So this one, we're gonna do a quarterly service. So we service about every 12 weeks. And the first thing I like to do is to obviously go knock the customer, but I know they're not home right now. So I like to walk around the house to make sure there's no wasp nests forming and to remove some of those type of things, which helps out. More of an aesthetic reason to do that. Honestly, leaving the wasp nest sometimes is a better option to do just because it draws wasps back, and so if you spray more of the nest, they come back, they'll get more infected.
So I've got a question, because I've seen people that will buy like the fake hornets nests and they'll hang them up and it supposedly is a deterrent.
Right?
Is that true or false?
I've honestly never heard of that, but I would say they're smart critters. I mean, most deterrents, you look at like for birds, for example, people put up fake owls and stuff, and it's like, okay, for the first month or two, it scares them off, but seeing the thing not move for a long time, they get used to it. And I've seen way too many instances where the birds are actually starting to nest on top of the owl. I would say that wasps tend to move around based on the pheromones, right? And so I don't know if they got some pheromone scent in there as well. So that's the first time I've heard of that. So
interesting. Okay, all right.
This, you obviously look up high in the peaks. I'm not seeing anything. But this type of area right here is another common place where you'll see a wasp nest right in the rock wall. So you just walk around and definitely get your steps in doing this stuff. You had clover mites, and they feed on the excess nitrogen and moisture of the lawn, and so if you stretch the yard a little bit, you kind of drive them out. All right, I didn't see any wasp nests. I found with the backpack sprayers to make sure it's tight, because it saves your back a lot of headaches. And I forgot to even tell you what we're doing when we walked around. I also looked for ants, and I don't mix my general stuff. I don't use it for ants. I use a different non-repellent product. And so if there was ants in the driveway or something, which I'm not seeing any right now, so we'll just spray it with the normal stuff. I use a non-repellent. I seem to get a lot better results in that regard. So crack and crevices, you got more of a jet stream. As you turn it, you get more of a fan, and then all the way down to a mist. So you just pick whatever you feel like is needed at the time. Here, fan's usually what I need. So now I will say the customer did report springtail as an issue. And in my experience, springtail are particularly challenging to get, mainly because they're so stinking small, but they also, it's more of a, if there's excess moisture in an area, they feed on the little mold that's growing down there. So whether you see the mold or the little mold spores, that's kind of usually people get them in their basements. If it's in like a bathroom or something like that, it's usually a tell sign that there's moisture in the walls, whether it's condensation buildup or actual leak. So, but window wells, they reported in the window wells, that would, to me, is probably just extra moisture getting stuck down there. Now we do spot treat the eaves, 2 to 3 feet up, get underneath the lip there, 4 to 6 feet out typically, unless we're doing something, they're complaining about excess spiders in their yard or something, we'll go out to 10 feet. But this stuff I'm spraying, the label only allows 10 feet out, kind of the max. As I was saying, wasps love corners and stuff, and so I tend to hit those areas. So when you're going back and forth, do what feels natural. But the goal is to make more of a consistency. And so whether you go with the wrist action, or you go in your arms or up and down, just do whatever's natural. Just be consistent with the application.
Wax on, wax off.
That's right.
So what about frequency then? How frequently should people have their homes treated?
I would recommend at least quarterly. Pretty much every product out there that professionals use are designed to last about 3 months. We've chosen to let customers know it's going to be every 12 weeks, and so it's every essentially 3 months, but that way we're not dealing with days, we're just dealing with weeks. Depending on where the weeks land up, sometimes customers feel like 12 weeks is too soon, even though it has been 12 weeks. But I would say 3 months, unless you're in someplace hot like a Florida. You might want to consider every 2 months. If you're doing like an organic type pest control, monthly is the only way to do it realistically. It also depends on the service. So this is just a quarterly spray. When I do mosquito services, it's once a month for the mosquito season. And when I do rodents for things like voles or mice or things like that, I do that every 8 weeks, so every other month. And I keep the services separated. That way I can actually focus on what needs to get done for the customer as opposed to a one-size-fits-all approach for everything. So
Okay, so service is complete, customer wasn't home. What's next?
So I fill out the paperwork, I hit send, and then they get a confirmation email. And then later on, since we're signed up for Apruv and getting that work done, the customer actually get a text message stating like, hey, we just got done with your service. Let us know if there's anything we can improve upon, if you have any questions. And they also have the rating aspect. And it gives the customers an option essentially to either just say great job and it's an internal rating, or there's a link for like a Google rating. And that's when it's been really, really key in that regard. But the internal rating, if the customer has any issues, like if they wanted the inside done and they weren't home, as an example, where they said, hey, we want you to come back to do XYZ, and that's just makes it easy so I don't have to remember to follow up with them since they get the reminder email already. Because oftentimes they let you know if they want the inside done but they're not going to be home, so we need to reschedule. But since I'm on the road most of the time, it's either put it in my calendar to remind myself, or frankly it'll get forgotten. So Apruv makes it a lot easier for the communication with the customers as well. So.
Okay, man, where are we going to next? What's the job?
Over the weekend I got a video sent from this customer about ground wasps. We sprayed a bunch of them, the burrows, and then there's new burrows that have showed up as well. So we're just going to come back and take care of those burrows. So ground wasps can get kind of aggressive, and my general stuff, although it will kill them, it doesn't kill them instantly. So sometimes you need to mix up a little bit of a contact killer to help keep them under control as you're spraying. And I usually use it for ground hornets or like ball face hornets that get huge basketball size nests. So you just figure out how much product you got left and then mix accordingly. It's another benefit of a backpack sprayer. So if you mixed your product in a tank, 25-gallon tank, unless you had some agitator, which I never had, that was installed in there, you kind of wanted to make a couple rounds. If you were parked all night and then you went out for your first job that was close by, keep the product agitated. That's your ground wasp nest.
So is this where we get the firecracker out? And
yeah, just drop them down. I like to get the whole area wet, so if they land on it while I'm doing other holes, they're at least getting some product on them. Just drizzle it on in.
Drink up, boys.
We're at the time of morning where they could be. It's warm enough that they're probably out foraging, but usually cool parts of the morning or the evening is when you catch them all in their nest.
Do you get stung on the job?
Dude, it's been actually, I don't know, probably 4 years since I've actually been stung on the job. Basically, this will coat all the way down in, and depends on how the soil underneath is too. I've had some harder, more dense soil where it actually fills up. And I actually see the water filling up now, so that means we've saturated it pretty good. And I've even seen it get plugged as the wasps are coming out, so as soon as the water goes down, wasps come out. Oh, there he is, look at that. Like, what is going on? Probably cussing at us. See how it's filled up, so we'll see
If he's still in there,
get him to come on.
he ain't happy.
So the contact killer just speeds up that kill process. Could take a couple hours, but the other stuff, if we'd actually die. Oh, there's one coming out of this hole right now. We'll give it a shot, love. See them all flying around right here. Do you mind bringing those dogs in? Because I found some nests in the ground over there, so thank you. This is where it becomes harder. It's like, gotta find them. That one's flying right here. He's angry.
Hit him again, Matt. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
How many we get today? How many we get?
At least 4.
Yeah.
All right, man, tell us about what has been your favorite type of pest job to do. What's your favorite kind of bug to kill, I guess, in layman's terms?
I would say the one I least feel badly about killing are earwigs. So I hate them with a passion. I think they're really, really weird and a mistake of nature.
I mean, are they called earwigs because they actually get in your ear? Is that?
Yeah, I guess in theory, but I've never personally seen one in my ear. I've had other bugs actually get in my ear when I was camping and stuff, and I don't think they're earwigs, but they're just really weird. Yeah,
Nasty.
get a little crazy, I guess. It's one thing I've done personally. I've gotten 2 phones. That's helped out separate the family time, so I'm not constantly on my personal phone all weekend, and so it's really nice. You can just put that phone on silent, put it in the other room, and not even worry about it. I've heard of some people doing just getting a different SIM card, but you're still getting all the business stuff coming there. So this has really improved my family life, but also means I don't check it till Monday morning, and so got lots of stuff.
If you need to do a test run on Jared with that spray, I think he...
Right.